Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Spiritually Fly Sunday, The Word. My name is Faith Hunter, and today we are talking about self-awareness. Now, before we jump into our discussion and, of course, my read of what's in my book about self-awareness, I just want us to pause for a moment. I want you to close your eyes. I want you to take a deep breath in and out of your nose. And as you breathe deeply in and out of your nose, I just want you to do a really quick body scan. Scan your feet, your legs. Move your awareness into your hips, your spine. Maybe notice what's happening in your belly today. On a physical level, notice what's happening in your heart today on an emotional level. And then move your awareness into your shoulders, your throat, your mouth, your eyes. That space right between your brow, your first eye. Tap into your wisdom for a moment. And then notice, of course, what may be happening in the mind. Let's take another deep breath in. Exhale, empty out. Let it all out your mouth. Shake it out for a second. And yeah, let's jump right into today's Spiritually Fly Sunday, the Word. So again, this is all about self-awareness, and I am, of course, like all of these conversations we have on Sunday, I am pulling the content from my book, Spiritually Fly, Wisdom, Meditations, and Yoga to Elevate Your Soul. And this is in Sutra 5, which is chapter 5 of my book. In that section of the book, and I've actually brought this section up more than once, but this particular sutra is called Trust and Have Faith in Yourself and Others. Now, in this section, I talk about self-awareness. It's really fascinating because we are so, well, I know, especially for me, I'm a Virgo, so I know this about, I dive deep in myself, I dive deep in other people, I know everything. Well, I think I do. Well, you Virgos, you get what I'm saying out there. But self-awareness is about understanding who you are, your strengths as well as your weaknesses. And the thing that I love about the practice of meditation and blending really conscious breath, right, as we were doing today and just doing a quick little body scan, that is simply a practice of self-awareness. Checking in with yourself every single day, being aware of where you are physically, where you are emotionally, where you are mentally. I like to do that little check-in first thing in the morning when I wake up. I'm still in bed, alarm goes off, press snooze. I know I have those 9 minutes sometimes. Sometimes I just like cut the alarm off and I just lie there, take a couple of deep breaths, move around in my body, and while I'm doing that, I'm doing a quick scan, feeling what's happening physically with me, and then I check in with my heart, and I check in with my mind. And then from there, I move into my gratitude, and from there, I move in with my intention for the day, and then boom, my feet hit the ground, running. So, but all of it, right, my day, and what I encourage your day to be is to start it off with self-awareness. So I'm going to read a passage and then we're going to do one little exercise that's actually in the book, or kind of like I'm pulling from the book. It's not the exact exercise, but I do want to do a quick check-in. So let me read this. This is on page 111, which makes a 3. Okay, if you're into numerology, you know where I'm going with this. Okay, so again, this is in Sutra 5, Trust and Have Faith in Yourself and Others, and this is all about self-awareness. It is easy to coast through and just allow life to happen by mentally drifting, settling for the ordinary, and allowing others to guide and control our lives. Self-awareness is about having a deep inner knowledge and understanding our character, strengths, weaknesses, feelings, and desires, which is perfect because, what day was it? Wednesday, I taught a live stream class on passions and desires and tapping into that and understanding that. The only way that we are going to do that is by having this understanding of who we are. Understanding what our desires are is actually part of self-awareness. So let me continue reading. Philosophers from various cultures have agreed that one of the biggest challenges of being a human is to know thyself. As powerful beings, having self-awareness is a seed that grants us the super strength of conscious acts rather than passive occurrences. I am going to read that statement again. As powerful beings, having self-awareness is a seed that grants us the super strength of conscious acts rather than passive occurrences. So when we don't know who we are, we don't really truly understand our character, what our strengths are, how we have the power to shift and navigate this world. When we don't even understand what our weaknesses are so that we can actually go out and ask for help on stuff. Like if we're not tuned in and tapped into that, we are really allowing life to happen to us instead of us creating, being a co-creator, crafting and designing the life that we desire. We're just sitting back like, no, I'm just gonna wait. And you know, as I was about to say something, I was really thinking about how sometimes people just kind of like bypass the work that needs to be done. So they sit back and wait passively and go, you know what, I really want to do this thing, or I want to explore this avenue in my life, or I want to change careers. And you know, I'm going to just let the universe handle it. It's going to send it my way. And that's what they do. They just like sit back and like chill. And there's no action. There's no checking in with what their strengths are, what their weaknesses are. Because that aspect of self-awareness gives us the ability to identify all of our gifts, all of our skills, all of our talents, so that when we do have that ping, when we do have that spark of desire, when an element of passion starts to run through us, we know what we have. We know what's in our human gift box, so that we have the capacity to go out there and pursue. We have the capacity to walk through life making conscious choices and decisions and not allowing life to simply happen to us, passively waiting for something to drop out of the sky. That was a whole lot on that sentence. I'm going to read one more passage, or one more sentence out of this. It is also, meaning self-awareness. Self-awareness is also a seed of wisdom. To be brave enough to see, accept, and rely on your gifts and talents to support your own evolution. So it's exactly what I was just saying, is that when we tap into who we are, when we acknowledge what of all of our strengths, weaknesses are, I was about to say opportunities and threats, because that's really SWOT analysis. I mean, I have an MBA, so I'm like always thinking strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, right? So when we check in with ourselves in all of those ways, then we know what our gifts are. We know what our talents are. And from there, we know exactly what we can do with them and how we can make this life so much better, how we can show up as better human beings, how we can love passionately, how we can inspire, how we can be brave in those moments of challenge. Like if you are confronted, I was just reading something on one of my friends' posts, and she's like, you know, my husband and I, we stepped up last night. They were like mad adulting. But when they know as a collective, like the two of them know what their strengths are, they were able to jump headstrong into parent mode and take their son to the hospital in the middle of the night and provide him with the comfort, care, and calmness that he needed. But if they didn't know who they were individually and then identify what their strengths and weaknesses are as a collective, being able to respond in the moment would have been tragic, right? Your son probably would have been like, oh, I'm here, right? It would have been the worst. But self-awareness is a powerful tool. So let's do one little exercise. And so hopefully you have a pen and paper on you, and I want you to close your eyes once again. And we're going to go through that body scan. But before we do that, we're going to do some box breathing to help us really drop into that mode, all right? So you're going to close your eyes, breathe in a couple of deep inhales and exhales through your nose. And while you do those deep breaths in and out of your nose, I'm going to explain to you really quickly what box breathing is. So basically, you're going to inhale for 4 counts. You're going to hold your breath for 4 counts. Then you're going to exhale slowly through your nose for 4 counts. And then you're going to pause and just simmer for 4 counts. And then we'll repeat that again before we go into our little exercise. So here we go, closing the eyes, if they're not already closed or if you're just joining me. And let's breathe in, 2, 3, 4, and hold, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4, exhale, 2, 3, 4, and pause, 2, 3, 4, one more round. And then start to simply breathe gently in and out of your nose. Again, keeping your eyes closed. And I want you to think about what your strengths are. Maybe 2 or 3 of your strengths. And then from there, I want you to think about how you are truly utilizing your strengths in your current life. Now, open your eyes, grab your piece of paper, and write that down. This is a 30-second journaling moment, so you're not going to have a lot of time, but know that you can always go back. So again, write down your strengths and how you are currently utilizing those strengths in your life. And take another breath in, big breath. And again, you can always go back. I encourage you to go back. And exhale. Now the next journaling prompt, what we're going to say, what you're going to write down is, what are your weaknesses? So maybe 2, just write down 1 or 2. And then those weaknesses, and I really want you to be honest with yourself, guys. Like, be truly, truly honest. Don't think about those weaknesses that you give when you like go to a job interview. You're like, yes, my weakness is that I'm super deep. No. Mm-mm. Really look at what your weaknesses are. I know one of my weaknesses, I'll give you guys an example. I'm always overthinking. And that overthinking sometimes holds me back in my action, meaning to move and jump forward. And that is a result of fear. Okay. That's how deep I want you guys to go. So think about what your weaknesses are. And then think about how that weakness is holding you back in your life. Write that down. Simmer on that. And then, of course, when you have a few more moments later today, go back, grab your paper, or immediately after we finish here, grab your paper, look again at your strengths, look again at your weaknesses. See how your strengths are supporting you in your life, and see how your weaknesses are holding you back. All right, guys, that is it. Again, this is another Spiritually Fly Sunday. The word self-awareness is what we were talking about. If you were just jumping on and joining me and the rest of us here, know that I'm also going to post this, so you can always take a look. I encourage you to share this with friends, with family, on your feed, on your story, however you want to share it. And of course, all of it comes from, meaning the teachings, the thoughts, the ideas, the inspiration comes from my book, Spiritually Fly, Wisdom, Meditations, and Yoga to Elevate Your Soul. If you haven't grabbed your copy, honey, baby, y'all need to go out and get this. Yes. Go out and grab a copy. The work, can I say it? The work is in this book. The work that I've done, I walked through these practices myself, and then I put them down on paper to say, hey, give this a try, people. The work is in this book, and it goes way beyond a yoga mat. If you guys didn't know, I didn't even mention yoga. You're talking about self-awareness. Life, choices, and decisions. How are we walking through this world as powerful, strong, forgiving, loving human beings? That's what this work is about. All right, guys. Have a beautiful, blessed Sunday, and definitely share this with your friends and family. And I'll see you next Sunday for another episode of Spiritually Fly Sunday. The word. Ciao.